Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to React Dandy. Tonight we're looking at Season 3, Episode 16 of So, last episode of Season 3, it's very sad. The plan is, we're going to talk about Reinhard, we're going to talk about Wilhelm, we're going to talk about Teresa, we're going to talk about Heinz Ketchup for a while. Then we're going to also look at some comments, and then we're going to jump into the new episode, the final episode. The break times, there's 2 more break times, I think. They're not, ready yet for me. They're not, translated or whatever, so I'll probably get to those later. That's the that on that. So, let me just start with boom. This comment is the origin of what's about to be the next little bit of both of our lives. Unless you skip ahead. Luma1586, good comment. I'm gonna start with that. I appreciate the comment because I don't mind a little bit of pushback, especially if it's not an awful point, right? Appreciate it. I want to highlight that out of all the comments that I got screenshotted to me, this is the only one that the likes were kept in, and it was also circled in the most squiggly, poor mousemanship, red, is this supposed to be a circle, I've ever seen in my entire life. So, Luma1586, I'm talking to you, I'm also talking about talking to the 16 other people. I just want to let you know, alright? This is the source of at least an hour of discussion on the Discord. Shout out the Discord link in the description. So that's why we're going to spend some time with it. So comment reads, I'll read the full thing out. This will sound very mean, but sometimes I feel like you really lack empathy because you take everything on a pure logical level. Yes, Reinhard killing his dead grandma is the objectively correct choice, but also, he does not hesitate for a second even seeing her face. He doesn't feel anything about her words, at least outwardly. He still says she isn't Teresa after hearing her last words. He sees his father and grandpa have an emotional breakdown and shows no empathy. And his grandpa asks him if he at least regrets a little killing her, and he completely denies even that. Yes, he did the right thing, but he completely fails on an emotional level and utterly fails his family. His reaction isn't that of a human, but that of a machine. Killing your grandma to save your family is great and makes him the GOAT, but doing so without the slightest bit of regret is horrible. She is still your grandma. So, the pushback, I'll open up my Google document in a second, because yes, I got the Google document prepared. My main pushback is the point on empathy, and then, but more specifically, the idea that he has failed his family. I don't think he's failed his family. And also, the way I'm viewing this is that me being on Reinhard's side is me showing empathy towards Reinhard instead of towards Wilhelm and Heinkel. So, the thesis. Reinhard has no obligation to emotionally respond to Wilhelm and Heinkel. He is the GOAT and the one truly deserving of empathy. That's the thesis. He doesn't, I don't care. I literally do not care that he didn't emotionally do labor for Heinkel or for Wilhelm. For him to be like, nah, that's not her, I don't care. I don't even mind that. I think that's a totally acceptable Reinhard action. He's locked in. Part 1. What does Reinhard owe his family? So this is why should there be any obligation for him to actually look out for, or to try to emotionally help out his family? What does he owe them, right? First thing is a passage from the light novel, which I read, of course, last episode. This is before Teresa dies. I'm not going to read the full thing, but it's before Teresa dies, but after Heinkel's wife goes into her coma state, right? And so it's Luana, the name of the wife, is afflicted by Sleeping Beauty disease, and then Heinkel grew twisted, Luana was trapped in her dreams, and Reinhard simply wanted to be loved again. It was Teresa who was at fault, Teresa who noticed and did nothing. This was something that when I read it, dramatically changed my perspective of Teresa, just this one line, because it's just an insane situation that her entire arc is about moving away from the sword and moving towards loving Wilhelm and starting a family. That's her entire thing, is that she doesn't do war and bloodshed. She does flowers. She does growth. She does family, right? That's her alternative, right? And so what's really crazy to me about that is that she gets rid of the swords. She has the strongest ability in the world, sword state. I'm just going to call it it's one of the strongest in the world. Huge deal. She pushes that aside to do family stuff, and then she fails her family because her son's wife gets comatose, gets GG'd, and her grandson, of course, is now without a mother, and she notices this, and she does nothing about it. The only thing she does do is that Heinkel comes to her later and is like, hey, and there's another comment about this I can flip to really quick. So Heinkel goes to her later and convinces her to go fight the whale, And the reason was that he was tasked with going to fight the whale, and then he instead was like, you do it, I'm going to look for a cure for my girl, and then that is what causes Teresa to go do it, right? So that's apparently a tidbit from the web novel. But that's something I was asking about when reading the light novel last episode, right? So that's very, very relevant and very specific, so I appreciate the elaboration. The point of that, though, is that the only thing she does is way after the fact, when Heinkel's tripping, he's like, hey, go fight the whale instead of me, and she does that. So she doesn't do anything on the family side, she instead does something on the sword side in order to try to, like, correct her lack of doing anything for her family. Something like that, right? I see that as a complete failure. Obviously, it didn't work because the family, after she dies, is a complete mess, right? Yeah. And so, part of that, I don't think Reinhard owes very much to Teresa. And we can kind of, to push that envelope, Reinhard gets his sword saint ability when very young. I think it was like 5 or 6 in my head, but I don't actually remember where I heard that. But, you know, obviously when he was a child, he gets it, right? And he's blamed for killing his grandmother, which of course is insane and stupid. We all agree that's insane and stupid. Heinkel's an idiot, because obviously he's not the one that caused that to happen. It just happened, okay? We can assume that Reinhard and Teresa had a weak to no relation, or not weak to no, but at least a weak relationship, because she, quote, did nothing when Reinhard lost his mom, and she died when he was very young. So there wouldn't have even been that much time, right? So in my head it's 5 or 6. Again, I'm not entirely sure exactly where that comes from. But even if he was like 8, it's like, if you only have a few years where you're like, you have to even interact with this person, and then you're blamed for their death for the rest of your life. I'm not gonna, like, there's very little to be said that, like, he and her had a strong, like, familial relationship, right? There's just simply not a lot written on it, but the very little we get is that she does nothing, and that, you know, she, of course, she dies when he's young, so it's hard to say, right? Of course, as a child, he is thrust with the responsibility of the strongest blessing in the world, which, remember, Teresa's entire deal was, this is such a big burden that she doesn't want, that she spends her, like, entire, like, so much of her backstory not wanting it, right? She goes to the war and then doesn't fight anybody, and then all her family, like, all her brothers die and her uncle dies, right? And so there's a very big emphasis in the story of how much of a burden this blessing is, and he is thrust with that as a child, and then also, I would dare say, emotionally abused by his father for killing his mom. And also Wilhelm, like, doesn't like him anymore after that, right? And so already he has the burden that Teresa had, but he has an additional burden of everybody hating him for it. Everybody didn't hate Teresa for it. She was just kind-hearted and like, from her stuff with the Reaper blessing, right? But he is straight up emotionally neglected and abused by his dad and his granddad for this, right? That's crazy. That's a lot of burden. That is, like, I would dare say, a very toxic familial relationship, you know? Despite all of this, though, Reinhard's, remember, he's the GOAT, so he locks in, and he keeps making moves, and he becomes the Sword Saint. He becomes the sword. He does his thing. It is worth noting that there is a small attempt at reparation made with Wilhelm, trying to, like, reach out a bit this season, which, you know, by the way, it's like 10 years later, or freaking forever later. He grayed out even more, got old face, you know? So I don't know how many years it's been exactly, but it's been a minute, okay? It's been at least a good handful, like, I think at least 10 years since she's died, right? Like, minimum. And so after all that time, Wilhelm gives, like, a small olive branch, and Heinkel, of course, is completely irredeemable and is still a complete mess, and I completely, you know, he's a pitiful mess, you know? Too little, too late in my eyes for there to be any expectation of return from Reinhard, you know? So basically, his family has talked to him, and he owes no emotional labor in response. That's the position there. And even Teresa, I wouldn't even say is like... Teresa had it, you know, obviously wasn't as bad as the other two, but, like, noticing that and doing nothing is a crazy thing to do, by the way. But yeah, so that's part 1. Part 2. Wilhelm fumbling the fight, okay? So this is context of the actual scene in question. These are 2 passages from the light novel about the fight. I'll read them. If he had not noticed Heinkel, or if he had been able to ignore him... This is Wilhelm. If Wilhelm had been able to stay resolute in loving Teresa and Teresa alone, he would have not allowed such an unsightly mistake to occur. So this is when he, like, starts losing the fight. And this is, like, his, like, hesitations and him noticing Heinkel is, like, throws him off his groove. And then second part, There was a trace of emotion in Teresa's eyes as she watched the sword devil, which is Wilhelm. No, it was just his imagination. It was nothing more than a remnant of his weakness being evoked by the scene that was repeating itself. So, this is a very clear statement, like especially the last one I just read, an extremely clear statement that his own weakness is making him lose and is making him project emotion into her eyes, right? He sees emotion in her eyes that isn't there because of his weakness and his unresolved feelings towards her, right? So basically, Wilhelm loses his focus, lets his old feelings back in that he hasn't dealt with since she died, and is losing the fight because of this, which is putting both his life and Heinkel's life in incredible risk. From the anime, even when doubt clouds your mind before taking up the sword, it all vanishes the moment you draw it. So that was a lie, right? He's saying all this shit about like, I will do what I have to do. All my doubts will fade. And then he starts doubting a ton and completely fumbles the fight, which I don't even, like, he fumbles the fight, sure. Like, that's not even a moral fault. The problem is that it's hypocritical when we put it against Reinhard, which we'll get to. Because, we'll get to it now. Frick it. Despite this, right, despite him saying all this stuff about, like, get rid of your doubts with your sword, and despite him letting his doubts in and then fumbling the fight, he's begging Reinhard to not kill her while she is still a corpse puppet, which is before she shows any signs of awareness, before, like, the real her, like, appears again, right? This is a massive misplay, and it's incredibly hypocritical to what he just said earlier in the episode, right? That's this right here. I have the timestamps in. You can barely see them because it's so small, but it's like 3 minutes and 50 seconds in. She's still a corpse puppet. This is when Reinhard pulls up. And then, like, within 30 seconds, he's like, please stop. And this is before Reinhard swings, right? I mean, Reinhard's obviously preparing to swing. But there's no indication that she is anything but a corpse puppet at this time. And he was just yapping about how, get rid of your doubts with your sword. Like, that's his entire thing. And then Reinhard pulls up with his sword and he starts screaming doubts at Reinhard. Now is not the time. Like, you don't even have a reason to be, like, protecting her other than your own unresolved feelings completely hoeing you. So he's just falling apart. He's just absolutely falling apart and being a hypocrite. There's also a point of hypocrisy with the Heinkel sending Teresa to fight the whale, because that got her killed, and then he blames Reinhard. But again, Heinkel is such a lost cause that he's, like, indefensible. So, like, who actually cares? It's Wilhelm that I'm fighting against more so. Because the people that are going to be, like, defending, or the people that are going to be attacking Reinhard are going to be defending Wilhelm. That's why they're doing it, right? I'm trying to say that you should defend Reinhard and attack Wilhelm. I'm trying to flip the script on you, okay? Reinhard says that the dead don't move and don't have a future while she's still completely a corpse puppet. This is before he slashes her. By all accounts at this point, he is completely correct. Bars. Of course, later he's like, he still isn't willing to accept that she was alive or whatever, but that, you know, we'll get to that. She only woke, this is incredibly important, she only woke up after Reinhard slashed her. Reinhard saved both of their lives. Remember that. Part 3. Emotional reparations. Wilhelm asks, do you regret killing your mother? No, omega lol. Okay, but why does Reinhard not regret killing his grandmother? Good question. Let's talk about it. Technically, he didn't kill her. Now, I know people are going to go kind of crazy on this one, so let me explain. She wasn't herself until after he slashed her. It's what I just said, right? Wilhelm was only able to speak with her again after he slashed her because he slashed her, right? Prior to that, she's completely a corpse puppet, and there's no reason for us to actually project her, like, in there. I mean, we even see it from her own perspective coming out of the flashback where she opens her eyes. It's after she's already been slashed. So she wasn't aware, like, in the corpse puppet. No, she wasn't there. It was just her body being puppeted around without her inside of it, right? And remember the freaking line that I just had. It was nothing more than a remnant of his weakness being evoked by the scene that was repeating itself, right? When Wilhelm thought he saw her. No, he didn't see her. That's not what happened, right? So that's extraordinarily clear that she was not there until after Reinhard slashed her. Prior to this, she was completely still a corpse puppet. This is similar to the mistaken blaming that Reinhard dealt with as a child when she lost her sword Saint Blessing. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Because he's getting blamed for killing his grandmother when this is the second time that he didn't kill her. He killed her body, he wounded her body while she wasn't in it, and then she appeared in it, but the only reason she appeared in it is because he wounded her body. So if anything, he brought her back, and then she died, but she wasn't even there previous. It's kind of like a weird, like, head thing, But that's why I have technically in here, because you could kind of say like, okay, but like, let's be real, he killed her. Like, kind of. But I think more, if we're being kind of literal with it, he didn't really kill her. And if anything, he brought her back, which is the only reason Wilhelm got to talk to her one more time. That's the only reason Wilhelm could say that he still, like, do the whole, like, his promise about loving her, about saying, like, I love you. Only reason you could do that is because Reinhard was there. If Reinhard wasn't there, you'd be dead. Heinkel would be dead. If Reinhard didn't kill her, and what, I don't know what else you would do with her, by the way. Reinhard doesn't kill her. You don't even get to talk to her because she's not there, right? And the craziest part about all this is that him being blamed for this again is a repeat of his trauma of youth. That's the crazy part, right? He was traumatized, neglected, abused. I'm going to throw the big words in, because of being blamed for his mother's death as a child. And now he's being blamed for his mother's death again. And people are like, but why is he, like, perfectly emotionally responding? It's a repetition of his childhood trauma. We're gonna give Wilhelm the benefit of, like, 300 doubts when he's throwing an emotional fit because his wife's, he's having to fight his dead wife? Bro, Reinhard's having to do so much shit too. All right, put some respect on Reinhard here. Give some empathy to Reinhard. He's the one that's really, like, out here making moves. He's the one that had to swing the sword again. Second point, time and place, is Reinhard's time is literal, and this is where we get to the more logical arguments, because that was part of the comment here. You lack empathy because you take everything on a pure logical level. This is where we get into the more logical elements. Everything I've said up to this point is purely empathy / emotional arguments, or like 99%, right? Or largely. A lot of these points are largely like emotional, trying to give empathy, trying to give support to Reinhard and his situation. That's what's been most of it. Now we go into some more of the logical stuff, time and place. Reinhard's time is, and as I've said, literally the most important thing for saving lives right now. Heinkel has gotten who knows how many people killed by holding Reinhard up already with the whole felt thing. Any delays, any burdens of emotional baggage could distract Reinhard like it did with Wilhelm, and that's going to get people killed. This last part's really important, because remember, Wilhelm has been talking about, like, he sees Heinkel, and gets distracted by that, and then his blade is dulled. That's like the entire point of him. That's why he starts losing the fight. It's very explicitly written, right? And so emotional baggage can throw you off your swordsmanship. That's something Wilhelm believes and says. And then you're gonna give emotional baggage to literally the most important swordsman in the world during an invasion by the cult, by the witches cult. Now's the time for emotional baggage? And not just any emotional baggage, literally a repetition of the trauma of his youth, right? The trauma that, again, he was abused and neglected for, right? So, yeah, I think that's insane. And Wilhelm doesn't, like, delay him very much. He says, like, go do your thing, which I appreciate, by the way, Wilhelm. We can put some respect on Wilhelm for that. But yeah, especially the burdening with emotional baggage part is I think, a crazy thing to do, and it's also hypocritical. And it's going to get people killed, which is kind of always my step one, where, like, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. This is a big one. Why should Reinhard be the one to make emotional reparations? Why is Reinhard the one that has to compromise and be like, yes, I killed grandma? Why does he have to be the one to make the step? Heinkel obviously is a lost cause because he sucks, and Wilhelm has extended a meek olive branch after many, many years of neglect. Now that Reinhard has done the objectively right thing of saving both of their lives, they are mad that he isn't showing the right emotion afterwards. Also, people on the internet are mad that he's not showing the right emotion afterwards. They want Reinhard, the victim of years upon years of neglect, to emotionally engage with a repeat of the very same stupid reason he was originally neglected, killing Teresa. That is an insane expectation to put on him right now, both emotionally and, like, logically, because he's out here, like, saving lives, so we don't have the time to slow him down. But also just emotionally, it's crazy to, like, force that on him right now, you know? Why didn't Reinhard say that he was sorry? Why didn't Reinhard say he was sorry? Why don't Heinkel or Wilhelm, the two grown adults without the burden of the sword saint, do anything like that? Why is it that Reinhard has to? That's the crazy thing. Why are we putting this on Reinhard to do? No, put this on Wilhelm. Reinhard didn't even watch the flashback that we watched, and I'm still on his side. This is kind of like expecting a counterpoint where, like, there was some discussion on the Discord of him being like an emotionless sociopath. I argue that he does care. It's not like he doesn't give a frick at all and he's a monster, because next episode we don't see his eyes at all. This is something I brought to attention last episode. We never see his eyes And of course, eyes covered in anime means emotional distress. So he's emotionally distressed, which makes sense because he just had to deal with all this nonsense from his family, right? So look, his head doesn't look like it's even in the game in this scene. That's crazy. So kind of to TLD or to conclude that this page, part 3, he's putting his own emotions aside in order to do his job while there's still an active invasion. I think that's a great choice. Great move. That is called being the GOAT, even if his dad and grandpa want emotional labor. He does not owe them emotional labor because of how horribly he has been treated up to this point. He has enough to deal with right now. Boom. Reinhard's actions and commitment to his duty while pushing his own emotions aside make him an even morally better person. I reference Kant. This very much lines up with Kantian duty, which is basically doing one's moral obligation duty without being motivated by personal inclinations. So you're doing it because it's the right thing to do, not because you feel like it, right? That's one part of Kant I like. Kant can be made fun of a lot for some of his moral arguments, which is fair because he says some crazy stuff. But this part I really like the thought of, and I think Reinhard's a great example of that. So thank you, Reinhard. Kant would be happy to see you, bro. Conclusion: Reinhard is the GOAT. Wilhelm and Heinz Ketchup want emotional labor and empathy that they are not obligated to after treating Reinhard so badly his entire life. Arguing that Reinhard should have done better by them shows a lack of empathy towards Reinhard and his situation. The poor guy was neglected his whole childhood and is one of the most important people in the entire world. Let a guy lock in and save lives. Man, these are me and my fellow Reinharders getting ready for battle. Rise, Reinharders, rise! Okay, that's that, chat. That's my response. My 20-minute or so response to Luma. Well, not even Luma and the 16 people and the people in Discord. Boom. Okay. Whew, now we can take a breath. Okay, let's actually let's step away. Okay, we gotta change the mindset. Let me take a sip of the Dr. Pepper. I already read this one. All right. Okay, so other things. More referring to episode 14, last episode. Rem didn't meet Otto in this timeline, so Lai doesn't know his name either. That's something I kind of toyed around with, but I wasn't sure, so I appreciate the clarification. This is explaining why Beatrice had to use all her mana to heal everybody after the Regulus injured everybody, compounded by Sirius's authority. So that's what she's been busy with. I just forgot about that completely. I knew she was busy with something, but I couldn't remember what. So she was in a little coma for over-magicking. Yeah, it's been a while, right? As far as we know, Subaru can't kill himself by saying that he can return by death. This was part of my, idea, or my gluttony fears with Subaru. Whenever he says it, it's just incredibly painful and terrifying for him, and if he pushes through that, then from what we saw with Amelia, the Witch of Envy just kills whoever is listening, but he has never made her kill him with it. The only helpful thing that Envy seems to have done so far is granting return by death itself. Everything else has been pretty antagonistic. That's true. That's a good point. And that makes me even more scared because I think being able to say that you can return by death as a suicide switch would be incredibly useful. So it's true that we don't have that guarantee. I would say there's maybe still a chance if we were in a really bad situation. Maybe the Witch of Envy would be like, all right, let me squeeze your heart real quick. But maybe there's some reason she can't, right? Maybe it's part of return by death or something. So this is, I think there is a possibility he still could, but this is a good point that we do not have that guarantee at all, which makes me worried for Subaru even more. Remember early on in the season, Julius' little brother Joshua seemed to admire Julius greatly, so to hear that he also hated him is pretty interesting. I'm not sure where this can go concerning he's been nommed, though. Great question. There's kind of the question of nommed, if he's in a similar situation to Rem, then he might just be, asleep, in which case we might be able to fix that, in which case then things could, this could be more relevant. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of just a little bit of a random thing to me. Yeah, I mean, it could be an envy situation. That could be where the hate's from. Especially because the scene was Julius climbing a tree while Joshua was in bed. So maybe Joshua was mad that Julius was out there making moves. And then here's the gif of the cats because I think it's funny. Okay, let's jump into the new episode, chat. I say chat. Who are you live streaming to? Omega lol. Episode 16. This is the last episode of season 3. Looks like we're picking up with gluttony. Remember that... not why so serious. Why so serious as far is either dead or very injured. We don't know her situation exactly. And then otherwise, Regulus is dead. Capella, it left, which is nice because she gets to live. Yay, Capella. And then now we just got the gluttonies left to deal with. So that's where we're at. Remember, they're pretty scary because they get the moves of people they eat, so who knows how strong they are. It's kind of a hard thing to know because they might be able to do pretty much anything. We just need to stat check them. Reinhard, come solve the situation, please. Episode 16, let's get going in a 3, a 2, a 1. Bang. Oh yeah, Betty just pulled up. That was the newest part. Oh, and oh yeah, I forgot he's acting as Rem. Which is how he knew Betty's name. Which means he's gonna take a bite out of Betty. Ooh. Scary? That could happen. Remember, he needs the names. Yeah. Oh, is that the... Oh, that was the super ability, right? To phase through things? Ew, why is he wiggling? Why is he wiggling? 5 more seconds? Oh, is she juicing up? Save one for Puck. Yo, that was a far drop, Betty. She really just tossed him, bro. Hello? Wait, that's actually a good tech. Wait, actually smart strategic. The GOAT! Good block. No! No! He's got him! He's getting them all. He's trading the knowledge. No! No! It's over. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've never seen this. Okay, that looked fine. Okay, big spell. Ooh, she got her emblem in the middle. That's funny. Well, that's just not nice. Ooh! Oh yeah, I forgot she was getting something. What do you got? What do you got? The bonker? Would that really make Reinhard cry? Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that, big dog. Use your thing! Use your thing! Divine Blessing of the Wind! No! Did not work? Oh, wait, maybe nobody knows her true name. Nobody knows her true name, we're freaking back? Something about that? I don't know. What's going on? He tried to eat a gross meal? What's going on? We're back. Ha ha ha! Food poisoning. Oh, he comes to but fell. He's stupid. Oh, we have to charge it. Yo, she just bonked him with the tail end of a staff. Yes! Guess she didn't have Gaston's last name, so it didn't count. Or he. What if there's any collateral damage? That's a little bit of collateral damage. Oh? Maybe it's one of her old relics or something? Okay, Felt's true name isn't Felt. I guess, yeah, something to do with that. Okay, can we go triple tap him? Huh? Ah! Otto, are you okay? Felt, are you okay? Who's not okay here? Oh. I think, who are you? Huh? Feeding us a fake name, goated. She doesn't even know the name's fake, which means she has a true name because she's the true princess or some nonsense. Why does this one not look like the others? That's so weird. I kind of just assumed they would all look the same. This guy looks so different. Or girl? I don't know. I don't understand. Did this person say younger sister or something? There we go. That makes more sense. REINHARD. I'm not surprised there's a third one. So yeah, I wonder what there's got to be like the birth name or something really matters. Yeah. There must have been another. No, I disagree that that's what makes the name real. Okay, anyways. Oh man, the gluttonies get to live. Can we at least kill that one? That one's... Her bro just got beaten to a pulp and elder brother just does as that woman says. It's for us. What do you care about? Ooh, I like that. That's cute. She needs to save the last one for Puck. It's a decision. Yo, we gotta help Otto. Yeah. Otto got his legs shaved. Really crazy timing, because the last gluttony just left. He's so excited. Sleepy Bye? Why would you call it Sleepy Bye? This guy. Subaru, I'll let it slide because you're Subaru. She said give me more? Alright. It's only natural, that's funny. Oh, is that Anastasia? Anastasia? Sorry. Remember, she was like slightly sus because of being able to use magic, because this was Al said. Al was like, that's weird. Oh, Garfield. I'm glad you didn't lose your hands, Garfield. I really thought you lost a hand back there. Yes, sir. Aww. My God. No, it's okay, we're looking. Yo, that's what are they telling you? What are they telling you, bro? That's a crazy line. You're gonna heal getting cut down to the bone like that? Jeez, it's so funny that Otto's superpower isn't talking to animals, it's about never being noticed. Captured? Serious? Mayhaps? Trailer. It'd be cool if she trailed her down the river. Ah, that's crazy. She lives. And it's ironic coming from a spirit, but it's true. I would crumple. I would crumple immediately. Yeah, I'm a little, because they didn't get those, they just left. So it's a little bit curious. What does that even mean, dude? What does that even mean, dude? She's so cooked. Oh, look how much she's so. Aww. Whoa! Okay, that's just rude. She's chained up, man. Let her lick. I'm a bumblehead. You got that right, Emilio. That's a cool hammer, though. Hammer pickaxe. Oh, sing your song. Yo, Liliana should be scared. New songstress just dropped. Do you know that song? No? To who? Ah, I see. Now it makes so much more sense. That's true. That makes so much more sense. Okay, thank you. So she was kind of talking to Beetlejuice. She wants to separate them again. That's what I've been saying. Gourmet, bizarre, satiation. Okay, that's the name. That each refers to one of them. What's up, Al? So we got a prisoner, we killed one, and the rest got away. Man, and Subaru barely even died. He's so good at this now. He's gotten so much better at playing the game. I say the game, but, you know, at surviving. What a goat. Oh, Kiritaka. Yeah. I wonder if he just yoinked it. I mean, he's been on the, like, do the quote-unquote evil, like the shady moves. Shady's a good word. Doing the shady moves, but for, like, good reasons. So, ends justify the means kind of thing. So I'm kind of fine with it. It's just as a little, it's shady, but I'm fine with it so far. Execute her. I was about to say, I'm very curious how we're gonna do it with Kruge. Wait, why are you telling Ferris to sit when everyone else is standing? Ferris, stand back up! That's my worry. Yeah. Okay, well that makes me feel okay. But like even then, look at his goofy smile. Oh yeah, the fly people. True. True. Yeah. You want to go bug swatting? Casual racism? Oh, freeze them so that that's smart. Yeah, I like that idea. Thank you, Liliana, for tuning in like this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Kill me if Amelia fails. That's so real. I love the two of their relationship. It's so funny. It feels like Priscilla's like adopted Liliana, you know? I love it. That's high praise from her. Oh, broadcaster's song. The wives! And look, they're able to smile and be happy and quiet. Because Regulus is buried. She do be strumming. I've come around on Liliana quite a bit from the beginning of this season. Oh, the dragon. Yeah, how long is it gonna stay frozen for? It's better be like super magic ice, Amelia. Krush, yeah. Krush really got hoed in this whole arrangement. Aww. Family reunited. Garfield's mama. Heinkel. Drinking per usual. Yeah, let's not help out the rebuilding efforts, by the way. Wilhelm and Teresa. Aw, a friend. Listening? You bit your tongue. Oh, you can see where the water got released in the city. You can see the damage. That's crazy. Frick, my headphones are gonna die. Oh, there's the two at the beginning? Aww. Where are they running to? They're just running. Yeah. Man, that entire sequence was so good. The kid being held at the top and him losing his fingers was still so crazy. Though it is a little crazy that Subaru, you could have like maybe saved more if you like killed yourself a couple times, but I understand that's not our energy, I understand. I'm just saying. Let's go with you, Ricardo. Oh! Missing hand? Ricardo's the one that lost a hand. Oh, he ain't. You know what, Ricardo? I'm starting to come around on you too a little bit. Oh, are you okay? He's not okay. Aw, but Subaru is trying to reach out to him, which I appreciate. Talk to him. It's probably about brother. Yo, Julius, what's going on, man? Why am I scared? No what? Oh no! That's crazy. They ate everyone's knowledge of Julius, so only Subaru remembers. That's crazy. Oh no! But Subaru remembers though. That's why Subaru is so useful, bro. Oh my goodness! I thought he was just like, do you know who Joshua is? I thought he was gonna say something like that. That's so much worse. Are you a friend of Subaru's? Oh no. That's crazy. Okay, what's useful is, wait, so each of the, okay, because he was fighting the other gluttony that wasn't the one Otto was fighting, right? Which means all of them have access to all the different abilities, probably. Because everybody forgot him, but also everybody forgot the other soldiers that Otto was with. So I think that was two different ones. But yeah, I'd have to double check just to make sure, because freaking all gluttonies look the same. But yeah, well, except the girl one. But oh my goodness, if I had a nickel for every time a season ended. Wait, was last season ending the Rem thing too, or was that midway through? If I had a nickel for every time a season ended, I think, with an important side character being forgotten by everybody else, I'd have 2 nickels. Jeez, man. Okay, well, Rip Julius being remembered. Man, that's the last episode? When's the next one's coming out? I mean, it was kind of like we wrapped it. We got city arc complete. Overall, good arc. I appreciate it. I'm glad Sirius is still alive. And there was a lot of important stuff in this episode of like the different names of the gluttonies, Julius being forgotten, Reinhard saying like my friend. I appreciate that, Reinhard. Ricardo losing an R or a hand. Otto's freaking legs being shaved off. Let me look at that again. That was crazy. Why did this? See, makes a little sister's life pretty rough. I was like, okay, little sister heard, but why can you look like this? I guess this person, this gluttony, can turn into different people that they eat, probably. You know, that would make some sense. But yeah, I want to see Otto's legs get shaved apart, right here. They really got me scared with the hat falling. I was about to say, you killing Otto right now? I'd be pissed. I think I felt pogging in the background. Oh my goodness, it's such what a gnarly image. That's so gross. It's clean. At least it didn't break the bones, but I mean, it pretty much did as much damage as you can do without breaking the bones. Ugh. Poor Otto deserves better. Being such a useless older brother. And then what was this character's name? Rui? Sure. Just add it to the list. Rui or Neb? Rui or Neb. What a weird name. Probably means something special. And instead of 2 of them in my notes, I will say 3 of them. And she's a girl. Though she looks similar to the other 2. I wonder if they're all like maybe they're like, well, they can't be triplets because she's a different skin color. Unless they, okay, can that, I mean, I guess that could happen with triplets technically. But like, it's weird that they look so similar, in like shape, I guess, and like face. They have like, and like the swoop of the hair, like they look very similar. So it's a little weird that she's a different skin color. And then also, little sister was notable. Right, so like that's familial. She has blonde hair. The other ones have black. So big bro just got beaten to a pulp, and elder brother just does as that woman says. Yeah. But you know, all's well that ends well, honestly. Because who did we really lose? Everybody forgot about Julius. That's a GG. But like otherwise, I feel like we got a pretty good showing, all things considered. Things could have got a lot worse. We lost a hand on Ricardo, but that's negligible. Yeah, really, we lost like almost nobody. Oh, the goat. We did get the goat's name and then lose the goat. He got munched by Gluttony as well, which is very unfortunate. That's a shame. This was cool. Look at this. I really like this effect. It looks like something you can walk through. What is this? The hallway of forgetting. When did this scene take place? We and ourselves see the value of letting you sit at the table. Okay, this was like when she changed form and revealed her true form. It's so strange that it looks like a location. Yeah. Anyway, get blasted by the super spear. See you next time. And it's also a shame that we didn't get this guy killed. He survived, which means that these guys have pretty nutty base stats as well. Because this isn't death. I mean, he's obviously fine. I know he's like injured, but she pulled him away before we could double tap. Which, by the way, I appreciate you for trying to double tap. Great move. Sorry that both your Achilles heels just got freaking Achilles tendons just got yoinked. Yeah. Oh my goodness, felt. Not felt using the back end of a staff to beat someone's head in and expecting it to work, or the front end, but still. He's like, bruh, man, what are you yapping about? But yeah. Okay, man, it's weird. I don't like that it's over. There's no action to follow. It's just done. They got away. We're just cooked. I think we're just cooked. And like most things are pretty self-explanatory for like Sirius caring about Beetlejuice that's inside Subaru. That makes an incredible amount of sense. They're gonna send Sirius back to the witch capital. I guess I could write that down. They're gonna send her to the witch capital, or the witch capital, the capital, like to the kingdom, in order to like interrogate her. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty useful. But it really just depends what she knows and what she says, which I don't have the highest ever hopes for. But yeah, full season reply. I really like this season. I think it was high quality animation. I think it was very consistent in that regard. As far as like I can tell, especially the Garfield episode obviously went absolutely insane, which was a little bit of a random place. But you know what, Garfield, you're the shonen protagonist, so frick it, you deserve it. But yeah, overall, I really like the season, like adaptation wise, as far as I could tell. Though of course I did read a few like light novel things, and that was very helpful as a supplement. Though that's always happened with me and ReZero. So I'm kind of used to that. I don't even mind. The Archbishops were fantastic villains. I really liked each of them. I think of the four groups, Gluttony's the one I'm least interested in. Though Rui's the most interesting of the three. So there is a world that I get more interested because of Rui. Just because she was saying like, it's not what you eat, but who you sit with at the table. I think that's, like, I was kind of fishing for an interesting take on gluttony because we've had such interesting takes on the other sins. So for her to say, like, it's who you sit with, that's an interesting take on gluttony. I'd be really interested in, like, getting a deeper view of, like, her mentality or, you know, or if she has, like, some sort of ideology. That's something I'd be really interested in. But Regulus, of course, I loved as a villain. I thought he was great. He had a really powerful death that got me messed up. Sirius as an antagonist was maybe the best. I mean, bro, Sirius, Regulus, and Capella were all crazy good antagonists, you know? For completely different ways. Capella just trolling all the time and shapeshifting was so fun. She was such a fun antagonist. Regulus was just like beyond help and was just a mess. And him strutting on the ice is still the funniest thing I've seen in like a while. And then Sirius, she's also such a fun, they were just so fun in different ways, you know? Yeah. Like, look at her get bonked. No, don't do that to her. She just loves Beetlejuice. And she seems like a victim, which is interesting, you know? Yeah, so I really liked that all. I'm a little like, the book told them to leave, but also the book told them to get the Tome of Wisdom and the Artificial Spirit. Yo, you gotta read ahead on the book a little more, bro. Like we gotta lock in on the gospel here, because they're not succeeding on their objectives, like, at all. So honestly, which loss, which we absolutely take, no pun intended. Remember Diaz, Lepunzo, El Manso, Ulfane, Fatsbalm the Sixth? That was such a random character. Anyways, yeah. And then a lot of subplots this arc, which I feel like this arc especially had a lot of, like, subplotty things going on. I mean, even, like, Julius and Joshua ended up being, like, a little bit of a thing. Sirius and Beetlejuice, Regulus and Amelia, Betty and Subaru had, like, some stuff going on a little bit. The Reinhard family drama was a pretty high focus. Liliana and Priscilla had, like, some focus here or there. You know, I'm sure I could keep going. Each of the Gluttonies had stuff going on. Capella was, like, a lot on herself. Al was doing a lot of work. Like, it was such a diverse cast that it was, like, almost a little difficult at times to keep track of everything. Though, of course, I think we did a good enough job. But that was definitely, like, an interesting thing is, like, there's so many moving pieces. And that really makes it feel very dynamic and alive, which I appreciate. Like, them all gathering and figuring out, like, okay, who do we send where? What do we do where, right? That was kind of fun to think about. Most interesting is how little Subaru died, all things considered. That's something I find very notable. Because it really, like, and now he has, like, this weird arm. Like, is that just permanent now? Can I get a view of your hand? I think... Oh, no, do your hands look normal here? No, it's still messed up. Yeah, so is that just permanent now? Is there some special effect with that? We saw it regenning that one time. So, yeah, Super is just such a unique exception to so many things in the world, right? He's got Dragon's Blood in his arm. He's fine. Krush is not having a good day with that. He's immune to the memory effects, you know? So there's so many things like that which are really interesting. But most notably of all, for him to not die at all, almost at all, he only really died with the serious stuff at the beginning, was pretty crazy. And it shows like a big development from his attitudes in season 2. So that was cool to see play out. And I'm very intrigued on where it keeps going, right? So like if Otto were to die, right? If a lot of those fights didn't go as well as they went, what Super would have done, it would have been really interesting to see some of those scenes. So I'm looking forward to that, always in the future, right? Because I got a feeling that he's going to die, at least a few more times before the season's, or before the story's done, right? We're not even like, how many arcs are there? Like I feel like there's at least double digits. And this, I think this is arc 5 is what people were saying on the Discord. 4? I don't know. I don't really keep track of arc numbers like that. I just keep track of seasons, bro. What do you take me for? Some kind of Otto? Does Otto look kind of short here or what? He doesn't even look that short. The blanket just covering him. It's like the box solution where you get split in half. Anyway, though, on his freaking whip. Super ditch the whip. Otherwise, we're in. We're back. And it's a big showing of like a strength increase from our protagonist. So, as hopeless as it felt, I've come out of this even more hopeful for our protagonists. Because, is that really the best you got, Witch Cult? You sent 4 different sins at us, and we came out relatively unscathed and killed one of yours and captured another. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. So, we did have Reinhard, to be fair, so that really helped. Obviously, that's how we dealt with Regulus. So, though, even without Reinhard, I think Subaru could have figured it out given enough deaths. You know, that's kind of the crazy part. Because he didn't actually need Reinhard to put him down. Amelia, I think, had enough power to kill him once they got rid of the Lion's Heart ability. So it's one of those things where it's like, surprisingly, it's what I've said a million times, wherever Super is, I feel like is in quite a bit of control. But even outside of where Super was, each of the side characters did a really good job too. Garfield very notably, right? So that was all very, very interesting to watch, and I'm inspired for where the show's gonna go. The next season coming out, I thought this season was gonna be longer. So does that mean they got a head start on the next one? I wouldn't mind that personally. Oh, isn't there a trailer I'm supposed to watch? I'll maybe watch that as a separate video. Okay, just kidding. I'm actually gonna. There's a PV, a promotional video that I was supposed to watch as part of the episode. So I'm actually not gonna make it a separate video. I'm just gonna watch it now. It's what is it? ReZero Season 4 trailer. Interesting. Oh, that's what this is about to be. I see. I was just asking about that as a matter of fact. Okay, 3, 2, 1, bang. Very interesting. The yellow dust. Okay, looking. Oh no, a desert arc. It's so freaking over. Subtitles? 1. It's so over if we're doing a desert arc. Me returned by deathing dehydration 30 times in a row. I can't drink. I need to get to the water. Over and over, looping in the desert. Why does that guy look like he's from Vinland Saga? These freaking goobers. These freaking goobers. Ew, what? Hot milk? You're in a desert! Is that the entire thing? Okay, TV animation production decision. 4th season. Oh, nice! It's been renewed. Who would have thought? Is it? Okay, Amelia? Okay, she can cool it down with ice, but like what? Okay, can you just cool yourself down with ice the entire time you're walking through the desert? I feel like that's gonna be taxing, no? This is really funny. Milk. Cold milk. It's like a James Bond thing. I mean, that's not what they're saying, but yeah. Also, wow, this outfit on Amelia kind of go crazy, no? Whenever she decloaks. Check it. One more time. Milk. Ooh, okay, Amelia, you gotta eat in this one. I like it. Good move. Oh, not a desert arc, bro. We're so cooked. Why are we in the desert, man? What's here? What is there to find even? Alright, well, It doesn't give us a time, and we already, like, obviously they're going to do a 4th season, so that's cool, though. Let me see if there's a key visual or something. Use this, it's clean too. Click on it after trailer is watched. Okay, I'm not looking. I gotta open it in browser. Okay. Oh, why are we bringing the assassin? Okay, interesting. What is this giant thing in the back? Oh, we're going. Okay, so we're going treasure hunting with Anastasia. That seems to be the situation here. Oh, we got the same horse thing. I forget its name, but it's the goat. Patrish, the goat. S tier mount. Julius, Ram. Ram has some affection towards Rem, which is cute. Though of course Rem does not look to be in any good condition. New creature just dropped. Assassin is with us, but I guess we're cool with you enough. We're looking for treasure. Betty is wearing an entire coat. Okay, we are wearing way too much clothes for the desert. I'm gonna be real with y'all. How cold is this desert? Is this not a hot desert? Because Anastasia, you're wearing what looks to be the warmest down feathered clothing I've ever seen. Betty, same situation. Subaru is kind of layered up. I do like this new Subaru fit. I don't mind. He's still got his main colors with the cloak there. Kind of goated. I'm really interested in what this spire is in the back. Maybe we're looking for a cure here. We got a lot of people that are infected. These two, especially, notably. So maybe there's like a cure against Glenny here. We have to like, maybe it'd be cool if the cure to gluttony had something to do with starvation. That's a little too on the nose, perhaps. But yeah. Okay. I like your outfit too. How they dressed up Rem. This is a cute little outfit. Yeah. Amelia, you drinking milk? Yeah. Okay. Nice. I wish there was a time. I wish I knew when this would occur. Is this this has got to be it's 2026 minimum. Is this a 2027 situation? Oh, I'm going to be so old by then. Frick, man. Okay. Well, interesting. I don't think there's anything more to analyze here. This creature. Amelia's outfit again. No, I think we're good. All right, well, anyway, on to the next, as I was saying. On to the next season. We've got a little sneak peek here. I think that's all I was supposed to look at. But yeah, all right. That's all we got for this one. On to the next, should be exciting. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe. If you're a new, blah, 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 comment below if you have anything to say, or join the Discord and talk to me other ReZero fans there. Check out the Twitch if you ever want to check streams, Instagram for posts, Patreon if you want to support me. But otherwise, that's all for tonight. I will be seeing you on the next series, next reaction, next whatever. I'll be seeing you there. Peace.